Hello traders, welcome back to the channel and to a new 2024 TradingView guide. This has become sort of a tradition here on the channel. Every January we make a new TradingView complete guide where I'm going to go over pretty much every single function and button within the platform. So this is going to be more geared towards newer TradingView users. But even if you're experienced, I'm sure there's some things that you might not have figured out how it works, and this is going to help you out, okay? So without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so let's go into the main TradingView chart screen. We're going to split this video into five main parts here on the platform. I'm gonna have in the description timestamps for everything, so you can just jump along to different things if you're interested, and also in the pinned comments if you wanna get a $15 credit, help support the channel. You can sign up for a TradingView account there and get a $15 credit in your account, okay? So we're gonna split this video first in talking about the main screen, which is going to be everything that we see within this area right here. After that, I'm going to be talking about the top panel going from left to right. Next to that, I'm going to be talking about the left panel here, top to bottom. Then we're going to talk about the right panel, top to bottom. This one is going to be pretty quick. There's not a lot to cover. And then the bottom panel, which is going to be pretty quick too, from left to right. Okay, so let's start off with the main trading screen when you come in. So obviously, to navigate this, TradingView is very intuitive. All you have to do is click on the chart and drag. You can move up and down, left, right. If you use the wheel on your mouse, you can squish and expand, zoom in and out. Also, if you use the wheel of your mouse on the price scale, is going to make it wider or narrower, or you can just click on it and drag it as well. And same thing here on the time and date scale. You can click on it and squish it or expand it, or you can use the mouse wheel as well on it. Okay, now for this chart on the bottom here, you can see we have on the bottom left 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, etc. And there's a little thing saying, so if let's say I want to see a whole day's action here, if I click on 1 day, it'll give us a 1 day view in 1 minute candlesticks, as you can see right here. Let's say if I want a 1 month view, it'll give us a 1 month view in 30-minute candlesticks, etc. So this is just sort of like a quick way to just display a specific time period for your charts. Next to it is an option called Go To. If you click on Go To, this is going to let you go precisely to any time and date you want to go to. I don't know, let's say I want to see what happened on November 10th at at 9 a.m. Eastern. I just go To, and you can see the chart takes me back here to where November 10 at 9 a.m. was, right over there. Okay, so that Go To is very useful if you want to jump into a specific point in the past on the chart. Okay, below that, you can see we have some buttons down over here in the middle. So the minus and the plus are just zoom options for the charts. Then we have arrows left and right. These arrows are just going to move you 1 candlestick at a time. So like, let's say for example here, if we're right over there, if I start clicking the right, you can see we're just going to get 1 new candle per click. So this is useful if you want to go and forward test a strategy, or even if you want to do some simulation trading, you can do that just by using this, or if you need to go precisely to a certain spot. This little circle with an arrow, this is going to be the research chart view. What that's going to do is, let's say you got a chart and it looks very messy. If you just click reset, it's going to reset the chart and fit it in nicely within the screen. Okay, wherever you are, if you press this, it's just going to rearrange it up and take you to the present time. As well, if you're anywhere on the chart in the past, you can see that down here as well, there's a little arrow button. If you press that, that is going to take you all the way to the present. And when that disappears, that means that you're already on the last candlestick on this chart. Okay, so those are the functionality of these buttons. Then on underneath here on the bottom right, you can see that you can select your time zone. I always have it by default as US Eastern time. And then this is specific for different markets. I'm looking at a futures chart, so let me choose a back adjusted or not contract and the settlement date. If I go into, let's say, a Forex chart, then you can see that option disappears. So those options there vary by different markets. And then we have this little gear here. If you click it, it's just going to bring a little extra settings as far as the scales. As you're going to see with TradingView, there's just a lot of different ways to get to the same thing. So here you can see there's a gear for the settings. I can right click and go to settings, or I can click here and go to settings. So there's just many ways to do the same thing, which makes it very intuitive and easy to use. So this little gear is going to give you different options here just for the scales. Then over here, you can see there's an A and an L. The L is going to be for a logarithmic scale. So it's not going to do much on this chart, but let's say when you have a market, let's say like Bitcoin, that has a very big price scale, if you choose logarithmic and you go and you zoom out into a big time frame, you can see how the logarithmic scale is basically going to make the whole chart proportional to the price. Whereas if you go on a regular scale, it's just going to go by the specific amount number of the price that you're looking at. And then next to that, the little A button, that is the auto fit feature. So if I press the A, you can see that it's going to adjust the chart. Let me go into a lower time frame here. Let's say here I'm on the price and you can see some candlesticks are cut out and everything. If I press A, it's going to auto adjust and put the top and bottom of my charts at the same distance from the margins. And once the A is activated, if I start scrolling the chart, you can see that it's going to keep auto adjusting itself to always keep that same margin of space on the top and the bottoms. Okay, I normally don't use this. If you want to get rid of this mode, you can just press A, and then you can see now it's not auto adjusting. Or you can also just touch or move the price scale and the A goes off, and now you're back into regular mode. Okay, so that's pretty much the basic buttons that we have here along the bottom of the chart and in the price scale. Now let's go into the main settings menu. If you right click on the chart, a lot of the options here, if you right click on a lot of things on the platform, is going to bring specific functionality. If I right click on the chart, you can see we have another shortcut for the reset chart view. We can copy price, we can paste, add alerts, etc. And then at the bottom it says settings. If I go to settings, here we have the main settings panel, and we're going to go option by option here. Okay, so under the settings, we have first the symbol. So the symbol is going to control what our candlesticks look like. You can see I can take this off and my candlesticks disappear, or I can make them just the contours. I can change the colors, you know, if I want blue candlesticks, orange, whatever it is. You can change the bullish and bearish colors here. Price lines last. This is going to be the line here of what the current price is. Previous day's close is going to be marked here by an extra line of what the last day or session was closed at. High and low, if I zoom a little bit out, you can see it's gonna make a line showing me what the high and the low for all the candles that are showing on the screen was. And then finally, bid and ask. This is better appreciated in Forex charts. You can see if I zoom in, the bid and the ask is just going to show me basically the spread. This is the current price, and this is the best offer and the best bid. Okay, so if you're looking at markets that are you know, very liquid, like Euro, US dollar, etc., or GBP USD, the bid ask is going to be pretty tight. But if you go to some exotic pair, it's going to be a lot different. Then data modification, I don't really touch this precision. I just leave it as default. And time zone, this is going to be the same setting that we saw down here. It's just going to be the time zone you want to choose. Okay. Then under status line, this is going to give us all the information that we're going to see on the top left of your screen. So if I go into logo, you can see it's that little drawing. Title is going to be whatever you choose here. I have the ticker, then it tells me what it is, and then the time frame and the exchange. If I put bar change values, it's going to show me the changes per day. Volume is going to show the volume here. Last day change values will show them here. Now the background, if I bring up the candlesticks, you can see how the candlesticks are not blocking the letters. If I take off the background, now you can see how the candlesticks are covering the letters here. So normally I put the background on just so that I don't have all this text blocked on the chart. Next, under scales, we're going to have here symbol name is going to be right over here, is going to tell us what the symbol is. I normally have it off, but especially if you have different symbols as a comparison on the chart, you want to have this on probably. Symbol last price is going to be this black highlight of whatever the current price is. Symbol previous day close, you can see it highlights what it closed at the previous day. Same thing, bid and ask, what we talked about before, it shows you the best bid and the ask. High, low, and price shows the highest and the lowest value that you have displayed on the chart. And the no overlapping, that means like here. Since I have no overlapping, you can see that the bid and the ask and this, everything has its own line. If this option is not turned on, then everything is going to cover each other. So I like to have no overlapping just so it doesn't cover all the different values. Now, countdown to bar close. I got to go into a market that's open now. Let's go into Bitcoin. And you can see right here under the current price, there's a little backwards clock that is telling me how much time is left within the time frame, in this case the 1 hour that we are in. Plus button, If I go here, you can see there's a little plus here on the right side of the margin. If I take this off, that button disappears. I like to have this on because if I click on it, you can see it brings some extra functionality like alerts or placing orders. So that plus icon is pretty useful. Currency and unit, that is going to be this right over here. Basically, depending what market you're in, is going to show you what the default currency is. You can always have it visible, or you can keep it so it's only visible if you hover over it, for example. I always have it visible. Scale modes A and L, this is what we talked about earlier right here. You can have it always visible or not. Then lock price ratio to bar, I don't really touch this, I don't change this. Scale placement, stack on right, left, or auto, I generally have it on right. And then on the time scale, day of week on label, I always have this on. If you look down here at this black square that it shows where my cursor is, you can see it says the day of the week in the beginning. If I take this off, it's not going to show the day of the week. Then you can choose your date format however you want and a 12 or 24 hour cycle. Now, canvas, this is going to be the colors of your chart. Background, you can have it solid, and you can put whatever color you want. And then gradient, you can have a combination of colors to have some sort of gradient, etc. Grid lines, I always have them off. I don't really like them. But here, if I bring up the opacity, you can see that you can have vertical and horizontal grid lines. You can change the colors on them, etc. Okay, but generally I just have it taken off. Crosshair is going to be here, your cursor. You can see how you can change and be like a dash, you can be like a solid line, etc. And you can change the colors of the crosshair as well. Watermark is going to show the information in the background for whatever market you are trading in. So if I change markets, it's going to say the market, the time frame, and the description. I generally have it off. Scales, text and lines is basically this. All the text that you see on here and all these lines here, you can change colors and font size. The navigation buttons are the ones I talked about earlier right here. You can have them always visible, or you can just choose to have it on a mouse over, etc. The pane is going to be when you add indicators, if you want the descriptions always to be visible or not. I always just keep it visible. And then the margins, this is going to be again when we do our auto adjust, this spacings that we're going to have on the charts at the top and the bottoms. This is going to be the percentages here of the margins, and then the right, this is going to be the space between the price and the end of the chart. Okay, so that's it for canvas. Trading, this is going to be all the different trading options. Buy sell buttons, these ones are going to come up here on the top left. You can put instant order placement. You can see the buttons are going to get bigger when you put that. Basically, with that option enabled, if you click on the bid or the ask, you can sell or buy at market instantly to get filled. You can change the different sounds. Appearance, this is going to be basically if you want lines display where you have your orders, your positions. Executions is going to show you a little triangle where you open and close your trades. You can put a label on it, etc. Okay, so that whole menu is going to be for all your trading functionality. And as we're going to talk about later, all your trading options are going to be controlled in the panel down here at the bottom that we're going to talk about later. And then finally, events. This is just going to put highlights on the chart. Like if I put ideas, it's just going to show community things, because TradingView has like a social network as well. So you can see there's these little dots of things users are sharing. Session breaks is going to be this vertical lines. I have them very light, so you might not see them. But right there, you can see it's basically sets divisions for each trading session. You can access this either through here, or there's a little shortcut. If you go to the time scale and you right click, there's a little session break shortcut right here as well. Now, continuous contract switch, this is going to apply to certain markets, for example, futures. And this is going to be basically this little highlights on the bottom. This is going to show you where each quarterly contract has rolled over. And then finally, the news notifications and alert lines. This is going to be if the market is open and you're trading and there's some kind of news, then you're going to get pop-up windows. I think they come up like down here with little news and things about the markets. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the main screen. We are now going to be going over into the top of the bar. Okay, so top of the bar, first on the top left, you're gonna have here, you click, is gonna show you what type of membership you have. Under your username, you can access your profile, you can access your profile settings, your billing, etc. If you click home, this is just going to take you to the tradingview.com webpage, where it has a bunch of news and market analytics and things like that, and all the community functionality. Help Center, this is just going to be where you're going to look for any questions you have. They have a bunch of different menus of support of things you can find here, or you can just search things. You can access that either here or also on the bottom right. You can see it right here too. Okay, notifications, just gonna be things pertaining to your account. What's new, it's sort of a blog that is gonna show you latest news within TradingView. Color theme is just different settings. You can go into light or dark mode, etc. You can control how tabs work, how the alerts work, etc. Okay. Drawing panel on and off, you can see it's the left option right here. Language, you can choose whatever language you want. Keyboard shortcuts, if you click on it, is just going to be a whole list of all the preset shortcuts within the platform. I'll share a few of them later on when we talk about the other sections. And then sign out, obviously, to just log out of your account. Here, this next space is the symbol search. You can just go here and look for anything you want. There's also different market categories for you to go in. So let's say if you want to look futures, it's just going to show you, and you can filter by countries, by categories, etc. I can go to Forex, crypto. If I go, let's say crypto, under sources, let's say I just want to look at Binance. So now it's only showing me Binance pairs, etc. Okay, so the symbol search is pretty straightforward, and whatever you look for, if I click on it, it's just going to take me to that chart. Then the plus sign, this is going to be when you want to add or compare symbols. So I don't know, let's say I want to compare Bitcoin with Ethereum. So then I just click here, and you can see now how we have the Bitcoin chart on the back, and this orange line is Ethereum. I can double click it and bring different options. You know, I can change the style, make it a candlestick as well, etc. And you can just look side by side how they compare. I can also right click on the Ethereum chart, and there's different options as well. I can make a new scale for it so that I can split them. So then this way I can just adjust my Bitcoin chart. I can move the Ethereum chart separately, etc. Okay, so let's get out of this and just go back to the regular charts. Now next to that we have the time frames. This might look different in your computer because if I pull this option out on the arrow, you can see here's all the options. There's even seconds, which might not be available depending what type of plan you have on TradingView. There's ranges as well. You can even add customized periods here, but here you can see there's little stars on the right. If you click and mark them yellow, that's going to be your favorites. So all the ones that are showing up here are my favorites that I use the most. If I want to take one off, I just click it, and now you can see it disappeared from there. Next to this, we have, this is going to be how you want to display price. If I choose line, you can see that now this becomes a line chart. If I choose bars, this now became a bar chart right here, etc. You know, if I want Heikinashi, this is a Heikinashi, etc. Okay, so let's just leave it at candlesticks. Next to that, we have the indicators panel, and you can see there's a little arrow here. If I click on the arrow, this is all the indicators I have marked off as my favorites. So this is just a quick way to get to them. Or if I click on indicators, I get the window here, and you can see I have my favorites. My scripts are ones that I've actually edited the code for. Technicals is just the presets from TradingView that are available. Here you can see strategies as different things they have said. Profiles, this is going to be where you're going to find all your volume profile and the market profile indicators right here. And then patterns is a new thing they added, is an indicator that'll automatically identify different chart patterns or candlestick patterns as well. Financials, this symbol, it says doesn't have financials. Let's go into a futures market chart. And okay, so this is not available here. And community scripts are going to be indicators that are made by users of the platform. You can see how many likes they have, so you can look for the most useful. Editors picks are going to be the best ones, or you can look for trending or top, etc. Any indicator that you like, you can just mark off the little star here, and they're going to go under your favorites category. Okay, when you add an indicator, I don't know, let's say I'm gonna add on the market order bubbles that I use. So I just click on it, and let's go into intraday chart, and you can see whenever you add an indicator, it comes up here on the top left. If I go over here, there's a little tab if I want to just hide them, and it's just going to say I have one indicator applied. I can bring it up, and then on the indicator, the little eye hides it. The gear brings up all the settings. The X is just going to remove it, or there's a few more options as well. Some indicators, for example, if I put the RSI, they come up here on a different pane than the chart that I am looking at. Okay, And here's where we're talking about the pane settings that we have over here. Here's going to be the indicator name on the top left. And all the options are going to be down below. Also, with this panes, you can see there's some options. If I collapse it, it's just going to be here collapsed. I can bring it back. I can maximize it to cover the whole screen, or I can move it with this arrow and put the indicator on the top or the bottom, etc. Okay, so that's just things with indicators. Then we come to this icon, which is indicator templates. If you have, let's say, a market that you like to put 4 specific indicators on it, then you can just go into here, click on Save Indicator Template, and then that is going to let you give a name to the combination of indicators that you have, and then you're going to have your presets. See right here, you can give it a name, and now that is going to give you a preset of all the indicator combos that you have. So that's just going to save you a lot of time. Now alerts, like the name implies, this is going to give you alerts if a market touches a specific level. Okay, so you choose the market, you choose if it's crossing, if it's moving, all the different settings, the price. You can set up an alert message. You can set up how you want to be notified, if you want to get push notifications on your phone app or a pop-up on here, or even get an email, etc. Okay, alerts can be set here, or like we said, with the little plus icon on the right, you can also click here and you can add an alert, etc. Okay, then the chart replay function, this is going to be for back testing or just simulation trading. If I click on this, you get this blue line. So let's say I want to go back to this point. You can see it's going to cut off the chart and everything disappears from that point forward. And down here, you have your control panel, as well as a little practice trading panel that they've implemented. So if I click play, right there, you can see the market is going to start just playing back all the candles. I can change the speed, etc. I can do simulation trading here and just test out, how I would do, etc. You can buy, sell, you can flatten, and then you get your notifications where you went in and out, etc. Okay, the trading functionality on this back testing on the replay, it's pretty limited, but they're slowly improving it. And then finally we have here undo and redo. So I don't know, let's say that I make a few drawings here and now I want to go back. Instead of having to erase it, I can just click undo and then it takes off. I can redo, etc. So I use these buttons a lot, just if you accidentally erase something, or if you did something that you want to change again, you can just go back in there. Okay, now let's go into the top right over here. First option is just going to be how you can split all your trading screens depending on what plan you have on TradingView. I have the Pro Plus, so I'm allowed to split it up to 4 ways. So you can see right here how I click there. I can choose different variations of how I want to have this, etc. And then at the bottom is going to show you how I want this to behave. If I want to sync things, for example, I don't know, let's say I want to sync the interval. Now you can see all the charts are on the 1 hour, and if I click on different markets, you can see they're all under the same time frame. If I go on the daily, everything changes to daily, for example. Okay, so that's just the different options with the panels. After that, we have our chart layouts. So here, if I click on this arrow, we bring down the menu. So depending on the plan you have, you're allowed to have a specific number of layouts. Each layout is going to let you have a whole different set of charts with its own indicators, its own drawings. So this is very useful if you have different uses for the platform, etc. So for example here, let's see, I have 4 layouts. I have this one called YouTube, which I use obviously to make YouTube content. I have one called Charts. This is the one I use for just my own analysis and trading if I'm using TradingView for that. I have a layout that's called Dark Theme. So if I bring it up, you can see it's basically a chart, but it has a dark set. So sometimes I like to look at charts with dark backgrounds. Other times I like to use just regular backgrounds, etc. So you can have different layouts with different options right there. Okay. And then like here, if I go to undo, I can just go back. Let's go here back into the YouTube layout. Okay. And then after that, we have this quick search. This is a new function where you can literally look for anything you want. Let's say I want a Fibonacci. I put Fib, and it's going to throw me all the drawings related to Fibonacci. If I want to put, I don't know, a volume profile, here it gives me the 2 volume profile drawing tools, etc. Okay, then the gear icon, again, this is the same thing as right clicking and putting settings. It brings you the same settings menu. Then this is to go into full screen mode. So it's just going to cut off all the titles and the drawing bars, and you have your whole screen covered in your chart. If you want to get out of this, just click escape and you're back to normal. Then you have your little camera, which allows you to take a screenshot of whatever you have on your chart or even tweet an image. And the publish button is more for their like social media aspects of the platform if you want to share things. Okay, so that was the whole top panel. We're now going to go into the drawing panel here on the left. Okay, so for this drawing panel here on the left, let's just quickly go through this. First one is going to be the option for your cursor. So you can choose either a cross, you can choose a dot, you can choose an arrow. And here, let me turn this off. That little red dot on my cursor, that's an extra program I have when I do YouTube videos. It doesn't come with TradingView, but you can see right here, you have different settings. Also, you have a setting for an eraser. So if I have a bunch of drawings on my chart and I click the eraser, I can just go clicking on them and taking everything off. Okay, let me bring back my little cursor highlight. Next to that is just different drawing functions. The first one, you got your trend lines, horizontal lines, etc. You can see that just like with the other options, there's a little star here on the right. If you click the star, it is going to go into your favorites. You also get the little shortcut over here if you want to just learn them as well. It gives you the shortcuts for all the tools. So that's the options here. And you're going to notice the icons, whatever the last drawing you use is going to be the icon that's going to be here. If I use a horizontal line and I put it right here, okay, you can see that now it shows a horizontal line on the icon. Next to that, we have Fibonacci functions right over here, and below that we have gong functions here. On the next one, you have different patterns Then you have all your Elliott waves and cycle functionality. For all these drawings, I'm not going to go into detail on this, but for every one of these drawing tools and options that you have, as you have this horizontal line, every one of these is going to have its own individual settings. In order to access their settings, you're just going to hover over it, and you can either just click it, and that's going to bring up this little bar, which you can grab here on the left and move around with the different settings for like colors, thickness, etc., the type of line. The gear icon is going to give you more settings as far as visibility. You can add text, etc. Okay, so to access the settings, you can double click it, or you can just click it once to bring this, or you can right click on it and it's going to give you more options as well. And that's going to apply to all the drawings and indicators, drawings and tools that you have here on the left. Okay, and if you want to erase anything, you can either choose the eraser here, or the quickest thing is literally just to click on it and press the trash can, or click on it and press delete on your keyboard and it's going to go away. Okay, then here you have brushes for just freehand drawing. You have different arrows, different shapes. So if I want to add a rectangle here, you can see you have the rectangle. When you click on this, if I go to the edges, you can see that there's different options that come up. These circles are going to allow me to grab these drawings and drag everything, and this is going to apply to any type of drawing you have. Let's say if I grab a array and I put some kind of like array here, if I put my mouse over it, you can see that it turns into a little hand. I can click and move it around, or I can go grab the circle and move this around as I wish, etc. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, then here you got just little icons that you can put in on the chart. If you want to like highlight something, you can resize everything, etc. Okay, right there. Then next to that we have the measure tool. The measure tool is going to let me, let's say I want to see how high this move was from the top to the bottom. So I click on the measure tool, click on the top, and just move my mouse. I don't need to have my mouse clicked. All I need to do is just click once to activate, drag my mouse, and you can see it gives me all this information on the number of bars, the percentage change, etc. If I click again, it is going to leave it there, but if I click again on the chart, then it just takes it off. Okay, and then this little magnifying glass, this is going to be the zooming function. If I click on it, let's say I want to zoom in on this whole move, I click once, I drag it, and you can see it makes this square. If I let go, now it's going to zoom in on that whole area where I highlighted that thing. And now you can see there's a little zoom out option that I can click, and I go back out how I was. Okay, next to that we have the magnet mode. The magnet mode is very useful just for making precise tool drawings. Let's say I want to make a horizontal line from this swing high here. So I go here, click horizontal line, and you can see if I move here, my mouse is snapping to the open, close, high and low of the candles. So that way it is very easy for me to just to make more precise drawings. If magnet mode wasn't enabled, and I bring this, then I just sort of have to, like, you know, calculate to put it there exactly. Whereas with market mode, with magnet mode, I just bring it in, snap, and just let it go. Okay. One cool feature and a good shortcut to know is if you press the control button on your keyboard, that is gonna activate and deactivate the magnet mode. Here I'm clicking on the horizontal line, I'm dragging it, and pay attention right over here. You can see how the magnet goes on and off. That's because I'm pressing control on my keyboard. Sometimes you don't want magnet mode. Like, let's say I want to put this line right in the middle here. If I have magnet mode on, it's very hard because this drawing is snapping into all these candles. But if I press control, there's no magnet mode, and now I can just come, drop it there, let go, and now magnet mode is back on. Okay, so that's a little tip there. Next, we have stay in drawing mode. Normally, if I take a drawing tool and let's say I put a rectangle here and I let go, the drawing tool is now deactivated and now I can just continue. But if I want to put multiple drawings in a row, then I can stay in drawing mode, select my drawing tool, and now you can see I put one square, and now I can just keep putting more drawings, and this is going to stay in drawing mode until I turn this off right here and I deactivate the drawing mode, the drawing, either clicking on it or by clicking escape or right click, and now I'm out. Let's just clean the chart. Lock. This is going to lock all the drawing tools. So if I have a bunch of drawings on the chart and I don't want to accidentally lose them, I can just lock this up and it's just going to leave all the drawings there so they don't move. Then we have this eye. This is going to be just to hide the different drawing tools or things we have. If I have those two things there and I press this, it's going to hide everything just so I can look at a clean chart, and then I can bring him back up again. You know, sometimes you have a lot of things on the chart and it's a little messy, so this eye is going to help you just clean it all up. And then finally, this icon here, this is for the sync. This is going to have to do with your layouts over here. So let's say I have my screen split in two, and I have one is going to be a 4 hour and one is going to be a 1 hour. Okay, if I have this activated, then whatever drawings I made on one is going to go on the other, obviously if you're like on the same market. So here, if I have this on and I have two charts here, let's say if I put a drawing here, you can see how now it came up here. If I put, I don't know, a square here, or not here, sorry, it's going to sync right here. You can see how now is going to be copying whatever drawing I'm making on one, is going to copy it in the other chart that you initially selected for this. Or even if I make a line, etc. Okay, so that's it for this one. And then finally we have the trash bin. This trash bin is going to be a quick way for you to clear out everything you have on the chart. So let's say I'm just going to make a mess here. Let's say I have a chart with a bunch of drawings like that. And then let's say I also have an indicator. I don't know. Let's just put a whatever. Let's just put an RSI indicator right there. So you have a chart with an indicator and a bunch of drawings. If I go into the trash bin and I click on it, it gives me these options. I can take out all the drawings, I can take out the indicator, or I can take out everything and just bring this chart back to like completely blank. So if I click this, the chart is now completely done. If you press this by mistake, you can come here and undo, and then it'll go back to the way it was. But this is useful if you just want to clear everything out, okay? And the last thing here, right at the very bottom, you see this star. If I click on this star, this is going to bring this right here. This is going to be your favorites toolbar, okay? This favorites toolbar is going to be made up of all the drawings and tools that you put the little yellow star in. Everything that you selected is going to be within this. This is very useful because it's just going to save you a lot of time. Instead of having to go look through menus, you have all your favorite drawings right over here at your fingertips. You can move this anywhere, and if you just toggle this on and off, you can make it appear or disappear if you want. Okay, so that was it for the left panel. We're almost done here. Now we're going to talk about the right panel, which is going to be pretty quick. First option we have here is going to be your watch lists. The watch list is going to let you add different symbols to just keep all the charts you want to track organized. You can add little cuddle labels to them if you want to have different categories, etc. There's a menu here where you can create new lists, as well as a little plus sign. On this plus sign, this is basically a symbol search like we had over here. You can look up any market, click on it, and it's going to come into the bottom, and then you can just keep adding markets there. This is like an advanced view where it's going to show you statistics of all the markets you have here. Then you have the settings menu. You can make a copy, you can rename it, you can add sections. You can see right here I have a future section, a forex, and a crypto, for example. So you can organize all that through this. You can sort things by different parameters, etc. Next, you have your alert settings. If you have any alerts set through here or through here, they're all going to show on this menu here. Next, you have your object tree. This is going to show you basically all the different elements you have on your chart. So you can see if I start applying like different functionality here on the chart, different tools, the object tree is going to show me everything that is on the chart. And it's very cool because I can hide things directly from here, or I can even lock them or completely remove them. So I can just delete things directly from the object tree over here. Hot list is just going to be different statistics related to the market that you are looking at. In this case, I have the S&P futures. So then it's just going to show me different things related to the equities market. Calendar is going to show me different news related specifically to whatever market I am looking at in the chart. Then ideas, this is things to do with their social platform, which I don't really use. Chats as well, you can have chats with different users. Idea stream, again, is things that people share. Streams is something that I haven't used, but you can look for different people and streams of things on the platform. And then finally, we had here again that I talked about the help center on the bottom, okay? But from this right here, I say the most useful thing is the watch list, alerts if you use them, and then the news calendar is definitely very important as well. I generally always have my watch list here open just so I can quickly track all the changes in my markets. Okay, and finally, let's go out and finish with the bottom panel. Let me take off the drawing tool. So first, we have a Forex stock or a crypto screener. If I go into the stock screener, you can see I can search for, any company, let's say NVIDIA, etc. You can clear this. You can look for different performance parameters. This is very useful if you want to just collect statistics on different markets. Next to this is the Pine Editor. Pine Editor is basically going to be where you can edit code or customize your own indicators, etc. If I go to some kind of indicator, I don't know, let's say average true range, on the menu here you can see there's this little parameters here. It says source code. If I click on this, this is going to give me, under Pine Editor, this is the code for this indicator that I have here. You can see that it says it's read-only. Some of them are private, so you can see them, but you can create a copy of this code and start tinkering it and play with it and just learn to program your own strategies and indicators. Strategy Tester, this is going to be where you can back test different strategies. These are the presets that come with TradingView, but you can make your own and just test things out here. And then Trading Panel, if I put CL Brokers, I'm going to maximize this over here on the right. This is going to show you a list of all the different companies that you can connect to TradingView in order to trade directly through it. You have futures like Trade-Evade, Interactive Brokers, Optimus, a bunch of them. You have crypto like Binance. You have Coinbase as well, etc. You have different Forex brokers like Oanda, Gemini, again for crypto, Dorman for futures. There's a paper trading function here too. If you click on that paper trading, this is internal for TradingView, and you can have your own simulated trading, which is going to be a very cool function if you want to practice on any market. Here, all that information is going to be there under the trading panel. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the video. Hope this has been insightful. I know it was a very long, detailed video, but this is pretty much all the functions of the TradingView platform. Again, if this video was useful, consider subscribing. Check out my discount link in the video description so you can get a $15 credit, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. Take care.